Well, hello everybody, this is Mr. Lee David Carter, and I wanted to talk about coming out to my parents. Now, this is a big deal for me to talk about this in this video, okay? It was over a decade ago that I went through the transition as a trans man, and I went through 5 major gender reassignment surgeries, so I'm fully complete, and I was assigned female at birth. So this is a big deal for me to talk about this right now, okay? And it was of great importance and significance regarding, in my life, my journey, because I spent a lifetime, should I say, disguising myself, who I truly am, and coming out to people is a very frightening thing to do, okay? So I fully understand how that feels, the emotions and the feelings, whether it be the LGBTQ plus community, whether it be friends, whether it be family, or whoever, okay? And it can be seen often as a very scary thing to do for many of us. And although this was over a decade ago, I thought about, to be honest, it's scary and it's frightening, okay? And it's a big step for anyone to take going through the process right now. For many of us, how many trans people I've spoken to that have come out to their family, even now working as a fierce voice and advocate for the LGBTQ plus, and specifically for the trans community, people that I'm helping now, the younger ones, the newbies, what it is they're going through right now, even the confusion and being able to come out. And it's a frightening thing to do when it comes to your parents, even, most importantly. So, being able to come out and speak to family and friends, so I can give you some advice based on my experience, and everyone is different. So I approach the situation gently and in the right way, rather than give you help and advice on how to come out. I'll tell you my story, and I'm hoping that you find it interesting and beneficial, or both really, because I was 41 when I did this, but I had known for most of my life I was a boy. I was never a girl, and it can be seen as trans, and through a friend and a lover they introduced me to someone, and I'd gone through it. I'd had an awakening, and to my soul, that they thought, right, that's it, this is who I am, this is the place where I'm meant to be. And I consciously knew I was trans. I went with her and started the process right away, and we were involved in a relationship. She had children, and we went straight to the doctor's surgery straight away, and she came with me, supported me, started the process, attended the local GP, and it was a concern telling people. And the first person I told at the time was my parents. And it was over a decade ago, so I thought about people outside the family unit and friends and everybody. Who do I chat to? Who's my first port of call? So the first person I told was my mother. And I said, Mum, I need to talk to you. There's something I need to tell you. And she said, what about? Well, I need to speak to you on your own, and it's confidential. There's something I need to discuss with you. So I told her. And you tend to worry about what sort of reaction you're going to get. I thought, great. Am I going to get a positive response? How they're going to react? It's your parents. So I remember sitting down with her and speaking about it, and she turned around and she said to me, you know what, I always knew you was a tomboy. I said, well, I was never a lesbian, Mum. I'm just, just born in the wrong body, just suffering with gender dysphoria. There's a mismatch in the body and all that, going through, explaining everything. Spent a long time talking to her about everything and going through it all. And And I was quite surprised. I had a really, really good reaction from it all. You know, sitting there for a long period of time, discussing the process, the surgery, gender reassignment surgery, gender dysphoria, all the implications, the issues surrounding it, everything. And she told me, look, I love you regardless. You are still my child. And rather than, she just saw it as losing a daughter and gaining a son and loving me regardless, no matter you're still my child. So I got a fantastic reaction from that, which I felt blessed about, really. And, you know, looking back and reflecting back with that moment in time, she just looked at me as a son, should I say. So, yeah, wow. And then obviously my next book call was A Transgender Man. You know, I was living my life as Lee. Anyway, she wanted me to be happy and said to me, I would like, before I leave this earth, to see you settle down and happy with someone when she leaves this earth, with a partner. And she was just more concerned about my safety regarding the gender reassignment surgeries, and sat there listening to me and talk about other people's experiences. And then my next port of call, of course, was my father. And I thought, wow, you know, I've got to go and tell him now. And I told them to refer to me as Lee, as my name, no longer my signed birth name. My father's reaction was actually pretty good, really. I was quite surprised of the kind of reaction that he gave me. He turned around and said to me, my dad Anthony, he turned around and said, you know what, he says, that's a very courageous thing to do, and you've got my full support. I will be there for you and support you with this. And I was quite surprised, really, with the reaction that I got, considering that I grew up in tough circumstances, family was dysfunctional, and I'd gone through a lot. You know, looking back, this is my journey, this is the truth, this is what I've been through. You know, I suffered abandonment with both my parents. My parents went through a divorce. Me and my two younger siblings, we grew up in tough circumstances, all of us. And I not only had the gender story to deal with, I had everything else to deal with on top of that. So I had a lot to deal with, basically, with the behaviour, the rejection. And it's not, although the gender story is a big part of it, me growing up and suffering with gender dysphoria for 40 years, I grew up in tough circumstances, and where I went through on many other levels, many other things that happened to me. So that's out in the book. It's been published. Okay, so although my mother was never maternal, they did the best they could. So I didn't have the support or the guidance growing up that it took me till whenever. It was just the right time for me to go through the process because of circumstances. But then I now realise that we are not our circumstances and we can change it. So that's the story with my parents coming out and telling that. I got a great response. But there may be family units out there that are not so supportive towards people like us. And working as an advocate, I've met people that haven't had the support from their parents. There's many out there that don't get that support. So I wanted to speak about this because, you know, this is a big deal for me to speak about this and share this right now, because it goes deep. So I just wanted to say love and light. Thank you for watching this video and following me on my journey. Please come and follow me on this journey. You can reach me at www.leedavidcarter.com, social media, and please press the subscribe button. Any questions you want to ask, feel free. Love to give feedback, and I'll speak to you all soon. Watch out for some more podcasts. So I'm going to say love and light, namaste, speak to you all soon. Bye for now.